Hi everyone, welcome back to She's Crafty Paperworks. If you're new here, my name is Jen and I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to create beautiful ocean themed backgrounds on glossy cardstock using alcohol inks and Waffle Flower's new Under the Sea set. We're really leaning into the ocean theme for this one, and I'm also mixing in some alcohol markers. A lot of people don't realize this, but on non-porous surfaces like glossy cardstock or acetate, you can create similar alcohol ink effects using your alcohol markers. So if you've ever wanted to stretch your supplies and try a fun technique, this is a great way to do it. Here are the products that I'll be using today. Glossy cardstock. I pick up mine from scrapbook.com. I find that it's the most economical for what you get and that it also goes on sale quite a bit. In terms of using my alcohol inks in my card making, I find that this works the best. In regards to the alcohol inks that I use, you'll see me using several different brands, but my preferred brand and my recommended brand is to go ahead with the higher price point with the Ranger Tim Holtz collection. Again, it's a higher price point, but the more inexpensive brands tend to leave residues behind or like these little particles, and it messes up my blends. So in just my experience, these are my preferred brand. And if you're going to be starting out and you're making a new investment, this is the route to take. In regards to my alcohol markers, I'll be using my Ohuhu markers. There's lots of different brands out there, some more high-end than others. The only one I would not recommend would be Sharpies, and the reason for that is Sharpies tend to not lift off the paper as well when doing some of the different effects that we'll be using. I'll also be using Ranger's alcohol blending solution. This helps to blend, as the name implies, and I will also be using 91% isopropyl alcohol. I put this in a spray bottle, and you use alcohol to do more of a lift or to separate the colors. So this tends to blend the colors, and this tends to separate the colors. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. The next products are from the Waffle Flowers Under the Sea theme. And there are several products here that I'll be using. I'll be focusing on the craft dies versus bringing in some of the stencils and other coordinating products. I'll be focusing on these are the Happy Submarine, the Sea Floor Silhouettes dies, and the Coral Reef dies. The Bubbly Sentiments and Coordinating dies, and the Happy Seals, and the Happy Turtles. I'll also be using other basic card making supplies. Anything that would be kind of out of the ordinary, I'll be sure to include as I go along. But if there's anything that I've forgotten, please always leave a comment and I'm happy to respond to clarify anything that I may have left off. Okay, let's start with the glossy paper. This surface is perfect for alcohol techniques because it stays on top of the paper instead of soaking in right away, which gives us those beautiful, flowy, and kind of blendy effects. For this first one, I'm adding my blending solution before adding my alcohol inks. That's not a requirement. This is just my process for this first one. I focused on colors that feel really ocean inspired. Think blues, teals, aquas, maybe even a little bit of green and purple for depth. Once you lay down your colors, you can let the ink spread naturally and let that kind of intermix with that blending solution. You can help it along, tilt your surface, for example, or bring in a blower. What you're doing though is you want to kind of encourage that movement. So however you want to help that along. The one thing that I always stress with alcohol inks is that the goal here isn't perfection. In fact, some of the most beautiful backgrounds I ever created happened when I just stepped back and let the inks do their own thing. Now, of course, if you get a little overly fussy, you can always step back and regroup. That's the beautiful thing about alcohol inks, and that includes a lot of what I'll be demonstrating with the alcohol markers, is that there's some give and a little bit of take backs, if you will. For example, in this case, I just blended it too much and it was just too oversaturated. So there are several things that I can do. I can drain it off, which you start seeing me do, and then I can come back and add more color. I can bring in a felt pad. I'm always about experimenting. Sometimes that means that some of the backgrounds that I was creating that I really liked, I've screwed up before just because I got a little too fussy with it. Again, you can always kind of start over though. There's a lot of forgiveness. I'm actually getting to a point where I'm happy with how it's coming out. I'm just going to do some final blending with that felt pad, and then I'm just going to set it aside to dry. In the second background, I was kind of wavering on what I wanted to do. So I thought it started looking a little bit like the other one. So I brought in some of that rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and that helped create a little bit of a difference between the first and the second background. And you can see by where I spray that starts to separate. That's where you can get some of those really interesting effects because it's lifting off or it's actually kind of grouping those colors together. Now, just be careful if you're doing a lot of blending with different colors because it can start to look a little muddy with either too much blending solution or too much alcohol. But it does give you a different effect or technique to try and experiment with, and you can get some really cool blends out of this technique. Okay, so these are the backgrounds that I created. You'll see that there's some similarities between a few of them, and in fact, two of them I go back and apply some rubbing alcohol to them and kind of saturate them to the point where it blended a little bit better, and that gave me a little bit more kind of distinction between them. Here's what I mean by that. This is 2 days after I created this background, but I'm still able to go back with that rubbing alcohol and saturate it enough so that instead of having those kind of splotchy, lots and lots of little dots, I can go from that impressionist look to a more blended look. Now, I think that those splotchy kind of dots look really good with die cuts because it adds a lot of different dimension and texture. But one of the things that you can do if you're not happy, if you think that your backgrounds are a little too similar and you want to create difference, whatever your rationale, add that alcohol. You can also do it with blending solution, but I have rubbing alcohol on my desk at all times, so that's usually what I grab. And I just sprayed it, and now I'm going to set it aside, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry. So you can see here kind of where it was originally, which I wanted to use for the die cuts. And now with this part that I didn't use, I have created a completely different effect. So now it looks much more blended. Now here's the fun part. I'm bringing in my alcohol markers. Because glossy paper is a non-porous surface, the marker ink doesn't absorb the same way it would on regular cardstock. That means you can use your markers to create soft blends, movements, and even effects that look a lot like alcohol inks. This is a little bit different than if you were using your regular cardstock and creating your blends that way, maybe with a colorless blender or different lighter shades like your grays and so forth. What I'm doing is just scribbling down the color. I'm layering those colors. I want it to be very saturated for this example. And then what I'm going to do is bring in that green, and I'm letting it dry just a little. If you saw me, I shook it out a little bit. I want it to dry a little bit. And then I'm just kind of bringing in some green polka dots, and I could leave that look as it is and have a really neat effect, which would be great for doing some of the things, if you think it from an ocean theme, some of the plant life and the coral, how you'll get those different kinds of color effects. So I could leave it like that, or I can saturate it with that isopropyl alcohol, bring in a blower, and create a completely different effect. So this effect looks a lot similar to some of the backgrounds that I created. I encourage you to play around with the different effects and use some of the techniques that you would with alcohol inks and see what you can create with that. I mean, it is all about experimentation. That's, I think, some of the fun part of playing with our alcohol inks. And with that, you could leave this green. I did a lot of my die cuts for like the greenery and the coral where I just laid it down and I created lots of those kind of variegations in and striations in the colors and die cut them that way without adding any additional effects. But you can always keep going, right? Because that is the fun part. So here I'm laying some blue down. I do recommend when going on top, I always kind of rub off the on the back, the tip of the marker, just so that I haven't messed with the different colors. But here, this is putting rubbing alcohol down without splotting a lot on, because I'm not trying to saturate it. I'm not trying to create a blend. I want it to look more splotchy, and that splotchiness, and this not the best descriptive word for it, but it definitely adds itself really well to creating underwater effects. My recommendation is to lay down the color and then do your die cutting. If you do it after the fact, you will have some of those colors seep in underneath the paper, particularly around the edges and any place where there are detailed lines cut in the die cut. It's not problematic, and it's definitely a distinctive look, but I think that you get a more seamless look and a cleaner look if you do your die cutting after you've laid down the marker versus putting the marker on top of the die cut. All right, here's the first card, and with that you can see some of the different effects that I used on the greenery. And again, this was done, the die cuts were done after I laid down the different colors. And this particular card is interesting because the turtles were done in regular cardstock, my C9 cardstock, but I thought that compared to all of the everything else that was glossy, it fell flat. So what I did was I went back with the turtles and added my glossy accents. And I covered the two turtles in glossy accents just to get that same shine. For this card, the coral reefs were done with the alcohol inks, not the alcohol markers for the most part. I did go back and enhance some of that coral using my markers, but putting it on top of the alcohol inks. That's another thing that you can do. I love this card. I love the seals. This is the Happy Seals dies, in addition to the coral reef and the silhouette dies. Such a fun card. For this card, I switched up the sentiment a little bit. I took off the sending bubbly hugs just to keep it at bubbly hugs. And then for the submarine itself, I used that pastel glossy cardstock from scrapbook.com. I didn't use any alcohol marker techniques on these die cuts. The same goes with one of the other submarines where I just kept it with the pastel cardstock. Here's another one with those happy seals. Oh, they're so cute. Here's another one with that submarine. Again, I just used that pastel glossy cardstock for it. No techniques. But I also snuck in a turtle because whenever I could, I snuck in a turtle on these cards. I love sea turtles. For these last two cards, I borrowed from my stash a little bit, specifically from two different Spellbinders dies. One that was the small die with the scuba divers last year, and the other one which is their underwater tunnel. I pulled a couple of things from the greenery and the fish just to have a little bit more variety because I did not get one of the other die cuts just yet from Waffle Flowers that had a little bit more variety of fish. So I just wanted to change things up a little bit. All right, for the final card, this is a accordion card, and I used a modified version from Concord and Ninth accordion dies. What I did was instead of using the oval cover plate that is included with that set, I used my rectangular dies. As long as I had a frame that was a 1/2 inch, which would cover the sides, then I was able to create a little bit more of an open area for viewing. And this was a little bit of a labor of love. I spent some time on this card. There's lots of different layers, but I love it. I love how it came out. If you didn't know that alcohol markers can create alcohol ink style effects on non-porous surfaces, I hope this gives you a fresh idea for using your supplies in a new way. And I hope you'll give it a try. It's such a fun way to experiment, especially for ocean themed cards like these. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've ever used alcohol markers on glossy paper before. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. I'll be showing my take on Spellbinders The Weekender kit. Take care.